NBA stars are not role models, as Charles Barkley told you in those 90s commercials. Even though some people look up to LeBron James and Stephen Curry, it's still hard to think of many basketball players as role models. That's because some NBA players over history have not been worth looking up to. They've been terrible human beings on or off the court. I'm Justin Fraction, and here's a look at 10 NBA players who could never avoid trouble. Number 10, James Worthy. We're sure LA Lakers fans want to remember Worthy in a good way. He did win 3 NBA championships and was the 1988 Finals MVP. Still, part of his legacy is overshadowed by the fact that he was caught picking up prostitutes by an undercover cop. The media covered it like crazy, and it definitely changed the public's view on him. But at least he had the guts to blame himself and accept his own faults. Number 9, Sebastian Telfair. Telfair had a lot of hype during his career. The Portland Trail Blazers took him 13th overall in the 2004 NBA Draft. Telfair nearly averaged double-digit points in each season, but he's most infamous for his troubles with the law. In 2006, Telfair was robbed of a $50,000 chain outside of a restaurant. Rapper Fabulous was shot at the same place late that day, and Telfair was asked to look at a police lineup, but he was unable to pick out a suspect. Telfair got himself into trouble in 2007 when he was caught driving with a suspended license. He and a friend were arrested for possession of a handgun. He was given a 3-year probation sentence as a result. Number 8, Jason Williams. Williams was a one-time NBA All-Star, making the big game in 1988. He averaged over 7 points and 7 rebounds per game throughout his career, but search him up anywhere and you'll see just how bad his personal life really got. He allegedly smashed a beer mug over someone at a bar and fired a weapon near a sports complex, though he avoided charges. He was convicted of manslaughter in 2004, sentenced to 5 years in prison in 2010 for aggravated assault, tasered by police in another incident, and arrested for drunk driving. A sad and tragic life for someone with so much potential. Number 7, Antoine Walker. Walker was a 3-time NBA All-Star and part of the slick 2006 Miami Heat championship team, but this man just couldn't take care of himself off the court. In 2009, he was arrested for DUI and writing bad checks for gambling debts. Then in 2010, he filed for bankruptcy despite making over $100 million in his career. Though he announced he's now debt-free, he also had to auction off his priceless championship ring. Number 6, Dennis Rodman. Well, nobody's forgetting how dominant this man was. Rodman was a cornerstone of the Chicago Bulls dynasty, winning 5 NBA championships while building a legacy as one of the greatest defensive players ever. But what didn't Rodman do? He kicked an innocent cameraman in the groin, he's been arrested several times, and he entered rehab multiple times for alcohol addictions. He and his ex-wife Carmen Electra were arrested for a domestic violence case. Rodman was also arrested for drunk driving and not having a proper license. Police came to his house over 70 times just from throwing loud parties. He was arrested multiple times for domestic violence, destroying a huge part of his legacy. Number 5, Jason Kidd. He's easily a Hall of Famer, being an NBA champion and a 10-time All-Star. But again, this guy couldn't keep it together. Kidd was arrested in 2001 for domestic violence, and he and his ex-wife went through a bitter divorce. In 2012, he was arrested for drunk driving after his vehicle crashed into a telephone pole. Don't let all that money and fame go to your head, kids. Number 4, Latrell Sprewell. We'll make this short and sweet for you. Sprewell choked his own head coach during practice in 1997 because the latter wasn't happy with the player's passes. Sprewell rejected a 3-year, $21 million offer by the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2004 because he said he has a family to feed. He became broke and had to move on from his luxurious yacht. He threw away all the money he had and just never seemed to use his brain when it mattered most during his career. Number 3, Gilbert Arenas. This man averaged 20.7 points per game. What is there to complain about? Well, quite a bit, actually. Arenas got himself into trouble for bringing guns to the Washington Wizards locker room. He and a teammate pointed guns at each other over a card game. Police arrested him in 2013 for illegally holding fireworks. In 2015, he took a shot at the WNBA, saying people don't watch them because it's a league with women who are trying to act and look like men. Number 2, Lamar Odom. Odom was an underrated centerpiece of the LA Lakers championship-winning teams in 2009 and 2010. His play even had some fans screaming, "Who's Shaquille O'Neal?" He was arrested in 2013 for drunk driving and sentenced to probation. In 2015, he nearly died from a drug overdose and was in a coma, though he's since recovered. He and Chloe have since filed for divorce. Odom obviously hasn't been able to take care of himself, and we hope he can someday find peace and happiness. Number 1, Allen Iverson. No doubt this man was one of the best players of his generation. He won the league MVP in 2001 and he was an 11-time All-Star. But here's a list of trouble he's gotten into. Arrested for marijuana possession and having a concealed weapon. He released an album where he allegedly was insulting gays. He was arrested for assaulting his wife and threatening two guys with a gun. He had to pay $260,000 to a man who was assaulted by Iverson's bodyguard. So yeah, Iverson didn't really buy any good manners with all that money he earned during his NBA career. Which troublesome NBA stars did we miss? Join us in the comments below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps us out a ton and we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to Total Pro Sports though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.